This leader is provided to facilitate adjustment of focus. Please be aware there are spoilers contained in this video presentation.
A dragon by the name of Smaug lived down in a mine. Bilbo woke him up today, and on Lake Town he's gonna dine. Yeah, that's really gonna hurt the coastline.
We're starting with The Hobbit, and that is The Hobbit Unexpected Journey was released in 2012. Desolation of Smaug was released in 2013, and The Battle of the Five Armies was released in 2014. Unexpected Journey was nominated for makeup, visual effects, production design. Decimation of Smaug was nominated for sound mixing, visual effects, sound editing, and Battle of the Five Armies was nominated for sound editing. They didn't win crap, so they were all directed by Peter Jackson.
Bilbo Baggins. I'm looking for someone to share in an adventure.
Kind of wondered why they needed three-hour movies to especially get this when I saw that cartoon back in the 80s. I mean, that kind of summed it up pretty well, where they kind of just did the scary parts.
Personally, I'd rather be back in Hobbit.
To me, I think The Hobbit seems like they had the infrastructure in place to tell that story, and so they told that story. And not to say that nobody wanted it. It was kind of more of a responsibility because you've told, the last three that you're going to go through the motions of telling the first three because they already have everything all built.
Our enemy has returned.
The first thing I wrote down on The Hobbit was that it's very Peter Jackson-ish.
And I'm not familiar. I've heard of, but not seen all the stuff that he did before he got into all the Tolkien stuff.
He did a movie called Bad Taste that looks like every bit of that. Heavenly Creatures.
What I think of is Frighteners.
King Kong is one of the post-Lord of the Rings that he's really known for. And Mortal Engines is another one that epic big things doing big things.
Because he upsized himself massively from the sounds of it right at the moment when he started taking on all of this Middle-earth stuff. That is a tremendous transformation, if you ask me.
And I've read some articles about how big of a risk it was to put him at the helm, because, I mean, everybody knew that this was going to be, like, it had to be big, or why the hell are you doing it?
There's good and bad parts about it where it's like kind of the Harry Potter stuff.
What's wrong with the Harry Potter stuff?
Nothing's wrong
Not
with
one thing.
Nothing. I still like The Hobbit, but there's a lot of just extra material where I went, well, it wasn't in the book. Why did you even put it in there?
Who's read the books?
Not
Okay.
me.
It has been a while.
Let's say that maybe Reagan was in office.
I was assigned the book.
That makes me feel real old.
Might have been Carter.
Oh gosh.
Now, how long is The Hobbit relative to Lord of the Rings?
The Hobbit, the book, was 304 pages.
But they still blasted it out to three-hour movies. Even when I was a kid and I had delegated the reading of these books to my even nerdier friends, they're like, dude, nothing really happens in The Hobbit. This is all just a big prelude. I'm kind of with Trent. I mean, it didn't need to happen, but I also hear what Dave's saying as far as, well, everything was already sitting in place. This is kind of what we do, in the way that Ken Burns rolls out documentaries, and it's Ken Burns as soon as from the opening frame. And it's also going to be a 9-part series, whether you need one or not. If you're just reading off the things it was nominated for and the release dates, it's like boom, 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 stopping this train. It wasn't going to happen.
It seems like visually there were some really iconic shots that he did in the Lord of the Rings stuff. Every once in a while you'd catch him cribbing some of those things too, which, with so much time, you're going to crib something.
This was the last move in a master plan.
the Lord of the Rings movies, then, take a run at it.
Well, I don't know if it would have been really that successful if it would have come out first. And it's like, if they would have just come out with The Hobbit and then said, because I think everyone would have gone, well, I'm waiting for Lord of the Rings. That's when everything really starts happening.
That's where I wonder if they had done the 80s animated version live as a precursor to Lord of the Rings, whether or not that would be successful.
There's a magic in that music.
And it moves through me.
There were no ukes.
And yes, there were no ukuleles.
There were no
in
ukuleles in The Hobbit.
I would give The Hobbit 2 ukuleles.
I would go 2.5. 2.5.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm with Trent. I'll give it a 3.
I mean, it's sentimental. I saw it all 9 hours of it.
It was a nice ride. There's other movies that it's like, oh, I want my 2 hours back,
Oh.
But this was not one of them.
It's over!